Dungeons and Dragons is the most popular role-playing game out there. As tabletop systems go, it's the number one. Everything is D&D related. It's there. However, there are lots of really good alternatives. So today I'm going to introduce you to one that's just arrived in. It's going to be an unboxing. It's a brand new starter set, Castles and Crusades from Troll Lord Games. So we'll open it up. We'll have a look. I'll see it the first time as you see it, and we'll just see what we've actually sort of got. My name's Adrian, and this is Top Dice. Let's get on with the unboxing. So, Castles and Crusades. Right, Castles and Crusades is a tabletop role-playing game. It was launched about 2024, and it's maintained quite a strong following over the years that it's been around. It's had quite a bit of added content in there, and it's published by Troll Lord Games, and they do other RPGs as well. But this, I think, is the best known of their particular line. The game emphasizes a more of a narrative-driven approach, and rather than a dungeon master or a games master, it's got what's called a castle keeper, who acts as the games master in effect. It's currently at the time of this release in its seventh printing, and there's some new editions and core books on the way, which is supposed to enhance and help with gameplay. And I'm quite sure that that actually will be the case. But this today is the starter set, so this is the ideal beginning for anyone wanting to get into Castles and Crusades. So let's have a look and see what we've actually got. Now, as I said, this is the first time I've actually looked at this. This is an unboxing for myself as well as you. So, start off with the box. It's quite a substantial box. It's quite deep. It's got a bit of weight in there as well. It's not as heavy as the Dungeons and Dragons Borderlands box set that I had a look at the other week, but I wouldn't expect it to be. Now, very clearly, it says for beginners. So that's a great indication that what we've actually got here is going to be a great intro game for new players, new to the hobby, or people new to the Castles and Crusades actual game line. Cover, I love the cover. That kind of features just about everything you can actually do. You've got the gnarly old wizard there. You've got clearly a ranger over to one side. You've got your dwarf looking down, well, what was a bridge, I would have thought, there at one time until it collapsed. And you've got like a fighty roguey type there too. So let's have a look and see what's on the back. Epic adventure awaits. In your hands, you hold the very font of imagination where all things become real. Play as mighty warriors and weavers of powerful spells. Face off against terrible dragons, giants, and monsters of lore. Win golden glory or die trying. Castles and Crusades, the best in fantasy gaming, and it's just saying this is now the introductory box set. So there's 3 books we were expecting to see in there, which it says are designed to help new players learn the system, how to play. And we've got in there book 1 character creation, book 2 directing the game, and book 3 a full-blown adventure as well. So, okay. Also includes apparently starter sheets, which you can keep track of things, and you've got your dice. So it includes everything that you need to actually play, other than for a few friends. Right, let's open it up and get the first impression. Move that to one side. Okay, right. First up, some nice dice. Let's have a quick glance and see what these are like. I do like dice, and oh yeah, they've got a nice feel to them. I'm loving the blue and gold. There's a nice contrast there, so you'll be able to clearly see what's what. The only thing I probably add would be a couple more D6s, but that's a nice set. And to be quite blunt, your dice are available anywhere. So dice done. Just move them to one side. Put them there. Okay. Book one, read this book first, Character Creation. Well, we'll take it one step at a time. Again, I'm loving the artwork. I do prefer the artwork to the Dungeons and Dragons current iteration. There's just something about the artwork on this that really makes me go, yeah, you know what? I do. I do want to play this. The feel is very good. That's a nice cover. It's very glossy. It's quite thick, and inside we have how many pages is it? A 56-page book. Okay, absolutely fine. Let's move the books out the way for a minute so we can actually look at the book itself. So, character generation. Clearly, this is the book all geared towards character gen. So, introduction is there. Some lovely black and white art. Again, the art in this is just second to none. I really like it. It feels like quality too. These pages are decent thickness, and yeah, it's nice quality paper. Font's very easy to read. Now, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you'll recognize quite a lot of what's actually sort of in here. It was based on originally an older version of D&D, but kind of took it to another level. And I got the original box set. Oh gosh, must have been 2004ish, 2005ish, and I was kind of hooked from the beginning, and I've had and played it more than a few times now. But this is the first time I've actually sort of seen a starter set for it. I've always found that Castles and Crusades is exceedingly well written. I'll throw that out there straight away. I do love D&D, but I've always found that this is so much better. So we're gonna not really sort of get a chance to have a look at the old reading straight away, but there you go. We've got a bit of info on example of play, which always helps. Treasure, back in the dungeon, escapes. Where's the character? Oh, that's a nice picture. Again, do like that. Here we go. Making your first character. Attribute scores and how to generate them. What's in a race? What's in a class? Now, one thing with this particular fantasy game, you've got your standard. You got your standards. So, for example, you've got humans, elves, dwarves, halflings. That's as it is. You've got quite a few other races as well. It's looking like that, quite rightly so. This book is going to concentrate primarily on the core main races. You can get the other races later on once you've got the basics actually done. Again, another great piece of art. I really am enjoying looking at the art actually here on this. So, characters. What have we got? Right. So, character class. Right. We've got a background there as to what they are all going to look at. Cleric, fighters, rogues. Again, the art just screams at you. Wizards. There we go. So you've got your basic classes again, very similar, I suppose, to the D&D box set, which is great because it's a perfect way of actually learning the game. There's quite a few different character classes when you actually get the main roles. There's all sorts of different things. There's various knights, there's druids. There's even an assassin class in there, which is great to actually sort of have. So there's quite a bit going on with this. Character races, again, it tells you a bit about what the character races actually are and what the core sort of elements are of those particular races. Everyone has got its own little bit of thing going on. Then we're straight into combat. Again, very, very useful. I always found Castles and Crusades to have a very smooth combat system. There you go. Surprise, initiative, attack, and repeat. It's as simple as that. And it's all done by a d20 rolling high. That's the whole background and basis of this. You get some games that are rolling low, but the higher you roll, your dice, which is usually a D20 in this particular game, then the better the outcome and the better the result. Equipment, that's a very substantial look at equipment there. Quite a few things going on. How spells work, which is absolutely great. So perfect for anyone wanting to play a magic using class. That'd be wizard or cleric. And there's your spells levels. So you must be taking up to level 6 than this. Yeah. Okay. Level 2 cleric. Yeah. Level 0 cleric wizard spells. Excellent. Oh, what's that one there? It's a nice little, again, lovely bit of art. Absolutely fantastic. Some more wizard spells and finishing touches. So, okay, some ideas on how to play with the group, playing online, and the worlds of Castles and Crusades. So the After Winter Dark campaign is mentioned there. Dragon's Crucible. If you want to play with the Dungeons and Dragons adventures, it's very easy to port them over as well. But that's not what we're looking at today. We're looking at basically Castles and Crusades as it is. So, book 1. Time to get book 2. So, there we go. Read this book second. So, again, very clear instructions. Love the artwork. That's quite a trolley sort of ogre type thing there. Again, Castle and Crusades, and this is all about how to be a castle keeper. So that's the equivalent of a dungeon master or games master. Dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, or a games master if you're playing many other games such as Pathfinder. It is a lot easier and simpler than Pathfinder is Castles and Crusades. I'll give it that. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot faster. It's not to detract at all from Pathfinder itself. Right. So what have we got? We've got responsibilities, the rules and how to apply them. Most important rule. There we go. Firstly, have fun. Can't say more than that. If you're having fun, then you're doing it right. Everything else sort of fits in on that side. Make rulings, not rules. And basically, this book, if you're a castle keeper, is a guide. It isn't actually set rules. It's all about making the game fun for those around you. The rules too cumbersome, throw it out. If your group's frustrated, get rid. It's the basic core tools for actually playing the game. The siege engine, that's the basic core elements of the rules that flows through most of the Troll Lord games systems, and it explains what challenge levels, etc., and challenge classes actually are. It goes on and presents further information as far as a dungeon master is concerned. Again, you've got not as much art as in the players, but it's still enough to break things up. Keeping the castle, as it's called, so role-playing NPCs, role-playing monsters, how to role-play them intelligently, basically, from the looks of things, where to start, traps, obstacles, designing encounters. So this really does take it onto another level, this. It looks so much better, although it's not as substantial and full and heavy as the D&D set. It's looking at it straight away. It's better written. It's giving you more information, and it's looking like you can sort of play characters right up to level 6. And the great thing here is you get to create your own characters. If you're a castle keeper, you can sit down and with your players create some nice, solid, rounded characters. Various monsters. So again, telling us what's actually sort of happening here. Pegasi, owlbears. Owlbears, if you've watched the D&D movie, you'll recognise them. Rust fiends, satyrs, shadows, wolves, wights, one from dead, werewolves, ogres. All the key basic monsters are actually there. And now treasure. So there's quite a bit of treasure actually listed here. Various magic items. So there's potions, scrolls, weapons, armor. You've got flying broomsticks, boots of the elves, dimensional pouches. Again, a nice bit of art there. sleep arrows, flaming swords. So it gives you quite a few indication. Oh, I like this reference material. This has jumped straight out at me because of the dungeon map key there. Now, one of the things I love is actually drawing up a dungeon for players to actually explore. And that's a nice map key for you to actually use when you're actually designing your own. And you will need to design your own, I suspect, because I don't think the adventure is going to take you all the way to level 6. Let's get the box back a second. So Into the Dark. Loving that artwork. One moment. Let me just get that out. Again, lovely covers. They feel solid, nice and thick. And again, throughout, I keep going on about the paper quality. The paper quality is excellent. Now, I'm not going deliberately to actually show the adventure. I'm just going to have a very quick look and just see what it says. So it's designed for 3 to 8. Yeah, I heard right. 3 to 8 first level characters, and intended to help first time castle keepers get a game going. So, right, just had a very quick glance in there. It's got instructions and on each encounter for the games master, a castle keeper, to actually sort of say what the players can see and get the reaction from it. So that's a very substantial adventure as well. That's 22 pages. That's a few nights adventuring and possibly expanded into longer if you actually want. It just depends again how your players actually sort of go. It's looking like there's actually a village or township in there as well. That in itself could be a full adventure, just exploring that. I'm going to get the box back. Let's. Oh, I do like these dice as well, and I'm just going to see what these are. Right. We have character sheets. Oh, again, right, nicely laid out. These are an improvement on the Castles and Crusades character sheets I've actually got. You can see everything is simplistic and laid out there on the front. So basically, the player can see exactly what the character is actually about. And so the racial abilities, class abilities, any spells, the stats, weapons. Again, there's 4 slots available there. It's be unusual for you to be carrying more than 4 weapons that you'd be wanting to use. Hit points clearly are spottable at the top there. Your armor class, which is how difficult it is to actually hit. um, the repeats on both sides. So that's everything basically on a sheet, which I do love. You can easily scan these as well if you need more, and I'm sure they're available for download on the actual web page as well from Troll Lord Games. Right, first impressions. I do like it. It looks very good. It's not as top heavy as the D&D starter box set, the new one, but that I would sort of say is an asset. I was quite unenamored by the new D&D box set. I do like D&D, but it was too simplistic for myself as a more experienced games master or dungeon master. The character sheets and everything in the D&D, some contrasting comparing here. They were rigid and fixed. You didn't have the options there to create your own characters as such. You'd got some minor sort of adjustments you could actually sort of do, but it wasn't particularly great. It was easy to jump into if you wanted a brand new game if you'd never played before. This looks like it'll take a tiny bit more work, not much for someone who's a beginning dungeon master or castle keeper, but there's so much information in this box, and it looks like so far it's so well written that it will be very easy to jump into. It's not got the fiddliness of D&D. That's one thing about Castles and Crusades. It's a very pure role-playing game, a fantasy role-playing game. And the other great thing is you can mold it into what you want. As I sort of said, if you wish to play in the D&D universe, you want to play in Faerun, Greyhawk, etc. That's absolutely great. It's got its own setting there to actually use. If you wanted to take it to Glorantha or somewhere else, take a bit of adjusting, but you could do it. Whatever fancy setting you wanted, you can basically do with this. You could play Tolkien-esque games as well. So I know myself, I've used Castles and Crusades to play a Middle Earth style game in the past. So there we have it. There's the starter set. Let's put the lid back on. That will be seeing some use. It looks glorious. The art is fantastic. The looking I've had at the actual wording and the phrasing of the actual books, that seems spot on. It's just been a skim read there, obviously from me, but I would give this a solid 8, maybe 8.5 out of 10, which is, I would sort of say, very high. That's 8.5 out of 10 for myself and what I would get out of it, and 8.5 out of 10 as well for any beginning dungeon masters, castle keepers, etc. So keep a lookout for this. If you get a chance to pick it up, it's nowhere near the price of the D&D stuff. I think it's about £25 or thereabouts. That's a lot of bang for your buck in there. 6 levels of play. That would be 12 months basically, and you wouldn't need anything else other than to write your own adventures for this. Everything is there that you do seem to need. Maybe get some extra dice to throw in there. That was the only thing I could actually sort of say about it. But yeah, we seem to like that. In fact, we definitely like that. So there we have it, Castles and Crusades starter box. We liked it. In fact, I liked it a lot. I'm looking forward to using it, and it's one that I would recommend that any player or games master, castle keeper, etc., picks up. The information in there looks absolutely great. There's been a bit of delay there between me sort of restarting the video. I've had a deeper delve actually in there, and the rules are very, very well written. I've had a look at the adventure too, and I would say that's absolutely spot on. Hopefully you've liked this video. Click like if you have. Definitely click subscribe. We're here because we actually love the hobby rather than wanting more people to watch. But even if one person watches and gets something out of this video, then for me, that's an absolute win. So take a look. There's been nothing gained by myself through pushing this today. I'm doing it simply because I love the product and I love the hobby and I love the games. So keep rolling the dice, and I'll see you back on Top Dice for something very soon. Take care. Keep gaming.